Hey everyone, it's Leanne DeSanto and I'm here with Miss Shiloh. How are you today? So today's lesson from Shiloh is what I'm calling immediate gratification versus delayed gratification. Okay, so we're out here at the park a little later than usual. The sun is setting, it's a beautiful evening, wind is blowing, and well, Shiloh wasn't that excited to be waiting as long as she has been today. She's been at the door. I've been delaying that gratification for her because I just had some things to do. So we got out here a little later and it got me thinking about that, this idea of immediate gratification versus delayed gratification, because we're in a world of immediate gratification, right? Everything's a keystroke away, any information that we want. Heck, we want a car, we call Uber, they show up. We want some food, we make a phone call, it shows up at our door. We want to order something, we call Amazon, it shows up at our door pretty much almost like the next day. So there's not a lot of waiting, there's just not a lot of waiting anymore. And I got to thinking today, when I was younger and how excited I used to be to get that album cover of my favorite band. I was a big Led Zeppelin fan and Fleetwood Mac fan and Aerosmith, and when I got that album cover I was like, oh cool, that's what they look like, and it just made it kind of fun, but now there's kind of no mystery, right? Everything's just right out there. So I wanted to share some ideas about and some thoughts around this delayed gratification and where in our life can it really benefit us. And one thing for sure is it can benefit us in our food choices. How many times have you, reached for that cookie or that sugary snack or something that maybe wouldn't be as supportive for you, just out of like, this is what I want right now. And then you ate it and you thought, meh, it wasn't really even that good anyway. Right? Or, you just were like, should I, shouldn't I? Then the other side, guilt came up and shame around the food. And well, I'm here to say we got to let that go, right? We got to let that go. And we have to, and I think in delaying the gratification, like the minute that comes up for you, a craving or this idea that I want this right now, take a breath, take a step back. And I love this term that I use called there's a power in the pause. Like, take your power back in that pause and say, okay, wait a minute, do I really want this cupcake? Let me take a breath. Let me see, is that really going to nourish me in this moment? And there's so many other things that can nourish us. Sometimes we reach for the food because it's all we really think about or need, think we need, right? I want this, right? So if you just take a pause and say, okay, I'm going to ask that nourishment question. What else can nourish me in this moment? For me, sometimes it's a bubble bath. Sometimes it's calling a friend. Sometimes it's great piece of music. Sometimes it can just be reading a book. It can be anything else than food. But oftentimes food is just the first thing we go to. So something to think about today. Ask yourself that question. And if it's a yes, that cupcake's going to nourish me right now, then have the cupcake. And don't eat it in guilt and shame. Say, this is going to nourish me. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to love it. And I'm going to love myself even more, right? Because that's where we run into kind of the danger. So the power in the pause. Think about what that could be for you. What is it that, you just automatically go to? Is it that glass of wine? Is it a certain food? Is it getting online and ordering things that, you probably really don't really want or need? We're just really seeking that feeling that it's giving us. So ask yourself, what feeling is this maybe giving me? And just delay that gratification. Even for a few moments, allow a little spaciousness so you can think about it. And oftentimes there's so much, so many answers in that pause, so many answers in that delay. So what is that for you today? Think about that. What can you delay? What can you take a breath? What can you take a pause and say, do I really want that? Do I really want to, go shopping for that particular thing? Do I want to eat that particular thing? Do I want to have that same reaction I always have, right? And take a step back and say, okay, let me delay, let me take a moment and see how that works for you. See if new answers emerge for you. So that's my message today. The power in the pause, immediate gratification versus delayed gratification. And I know delayed gratification, most of you go, ooh, I don't want to talk about that. But just think about what that could be for you today. Have an awesome day and bye for now.